Do y'all want to see another helmet repaint? You clicked on it, so maybe. Wanted to show you the steps that I skipped over last time, and also try out a different method of weathering the paint job. This is what the Rubies Deluxe Boba Fett looks like right out of the box, with its little kind of stumpy antenna. Look how clear that visor is. Can you believe how dark they show it on the box? It's not tinted at all. You can get these little plastic prying tools. They're made for prying open your car's dashboard and stuff like that. A Lego brick separator is also handy, but I found it to be not quite big enough. Step 1, gently pry the ears off. You'll see in a second where the tabs are underneath. This particular helmet was made in May of 2020, and they spelled Boba Fett's name wrong. I'm taking this piece apart because I'm going to replace that Rangefinder stock with one a little taller. If you're not doing that, you can skip this step. On my Sarlacc Survivor Special Edition helmet, which I have to remake now, you can see I replaced it with one a little taller, and I like that dimensions a lot better. Just gonna measure it up so I can design a replacement in Fusion 360. In order to make it easy to print flat on the bed, I'm going to do a separate pin in the middle. Here's the final thing thrown into Cura to print. If I printed the pin out tall ways, it could shear at the layer lines, so I'm going to print it long ways and split it in half. While that prints, I'm going to prep the helmet for paint, which means a lot of sanding. The paint job I have in mind for this one is a little more clean, so I want the imperfections in the surface to level out a little bit, which I'm doing with Bondo. It's really my first time working with Bondo, so if I'm doing it wrong, let me know. I should have stuffed this dent with something before just going straight to Bondo. Maybe some crumpled up aluminum foil or hot glue or something. Use Bondo to cover up layer lines and whatnot on my 3D printed Rangefinder stock also. And more sanding. Gotta sand the Bondo. replace this visor. First thing I'm going to do is make a template. I'm going to do this whole process with the clear visor in place so that the spacing comes out right. I'm going to curl my new replacement visor before I cut it. Makes it a lot easier to do. I have some big PVC pipe laying around and a hair dryer. I'm just going to heat it up and let it cool on the inside and see what happens. That worked really well. It's going to make it a little weirder to cut. Worth it to have a consistent bend, because that T part that goes down the middle is hard to bend after the fact in a consistent manner. Since this is safety shield material, it actually is a lot easier to work with than the original rigid plastic that comes in the helmet. Easy peasy. I like to attach my visor with screws because, as you probably noticed, I like to take them back apart and repaint, and it's easier to take the screws back out than to mask off the visor with masking tape. This part's a little tedious. I mark, I drill, I screw, I remove, and repeat. If you want to skip all this and just use some double stick or some glue, be my guest. My targets are getting kind of hard to see through the visor, so I marked them with chrome and then marked with black Sharpie around the chrome to make them easier to see. Knife safety is important. Don't leave your blade right there where you're digging for screws, like I did. And that is attached. Time to bust out the crappy old clear one. Look how brittle that is. Why would you want that right in front of your eyes? After getting as much as I could with the pliers, it's time to file it and sand it. Making some progress. Time to get some primer on the thing. Going to use the appliance epoxy to cover the whole thing, and then just do a couple areas with the lighter silver so everything's not one consistent silver all the way through. With the relatively low amount of damage that's going to be on this thing, will it be noticeable? I don't know. You're about to see this paint betray me. I must have left something on the surface that didn't react well being painted. It looks cool and all, but why is it there? Here's that lighter silver, just to give it some gradation. Okay, here's that new paint chipping method I was talking about. I saw this from the people who make miniatures and dioramas. You take hairspray, and then once it's all covered in hairspray, you put some salt on it, paint over the salt, and then take the salt back off. I guess you could say this Mandalorian is going to be a seasoned warrior. Get it? Because salt is a seasoning. You get it. Even though I haven't used this particular method of paint chipping before, I'm going to try to stick to my old methods of focusing on areas where I think damage would have occurred, or trying to think about the narrative behind why there's damage there. Otherwise, it's just random bits of salt. See, my cover-up of the Boba dent is not particularly 100%. So I'm going to do some damage on top of it. That way there's more contrast and you won't even notice. Plus, having some damage there without having the full-on dent is like an homage to Boba Fett. Let's see how this looks before we get into the rest of them, right? Next time I'll try a toothbrush. If you try this, try a toothbrush. That's a pretty cool effect. I'm just going to try some rub and buff silver on there and see what it does for the edges. I like it. Time to move forward. I accidentally knocked off a lot of the salt trying to get this taped up, so I'm re-salting to put the top layer on. This Mando must be mad about something, because he's salty. I didn't film it, but I did small amounts of liquid latex like I did last time. I think next time I might combine the two at the same time. Latex and then put salt into the wet latex before it dries. That might be interesting. Peeling masking tape in 3, 2, 1. While I put this back together, why don't you hit that like button for me? Or not. I don't know, that felt dirty. I mean, if you want to, by all means, go ahead, but don't let me pressure you. Oh yeah. There's a little tab on the back. Line it up. Got too much paint on this thing. Gotta scrape it back off so it fits in. This part can be a little bit fiddly. It took me way longer than I'd like to admit. But be patient and you'll get it there. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Vigilante. I thought it'd be cool if the paint job gave you kind of Punisher skull vibes. Time to grubby him up, just using acrylics. gonna go for a blaster deflection scorch mark on that one. Part is all subjective. It's just how much dirt and grime you want, or how clean you want it to be. I like to add more a little bit at a time until I realize, crap, I've gone too far, and then try to undo it, and that's where I stop. Overall, this salt thing I think is pretty cool. I even like the little scratches that I accidentally put in while I was trying to get the salt back off. I can tell I need more practice getting it more focused. Overall, I think it's a great look. I might even prefer it to my orange one. What do y'all think? Well, if you're still watching this, then you and I like the same kind of videos, and you're my kind of people.